tell you my story about what happened to me when this happened. Because when I got to sort of 37, 38, my brother turned 40, my sister-in-law turned 40, and various other people. And I noticed they started acting very strange. They went on triathlons, they did parachute jumps, they stayed in the ice hotel. One of them even left home for the final time. And I thought, this is very strange. It's just another birthday. This is the 21st century. People are living longer than ever, and it's just another birthday, isn't it? And then my 40th birthday approached. And I got it. I was gripped by the 40 fear. And I thought, if I've got any of those big goals in life that I haven't yet achieved, I've got to do them now, because once you're 40, that's it, you've had it. I was very surprised by this thought, but there you go. So, I decided to do something outside the box. I decided to have an operation. Now, it was a very strange operation. There was no pain relief. It didn't matter because it didn't hurt. The person who performed the operation had absolutely no medical training. It didn't matter though, because he didn't cut me open. What on earth am I talking about? Well, in April last year, I had a hypnotic-gastric-band fitted. Right, I can see the question marks forming in the air above your heads, so I'm going to explain. To understand what a hypnotic gastric band is, you need to understand what a real gastric band is. And here is my highly scientific model of a stomach. Now, when you have a physical gastric band, what they do, they put a piece of plastic in someone's stomach, and it's sort of reduced or something like that. So it's weight loss surgery. Very, very popular in America, very expensive, and it can kill you. Now, a hypnotic gastric band is where you put under a hypnotic trance, but in a hypnotic trance, and the hypnotherapist instructs your subconscious that you have actually had this operation for real. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to tell you about my experience of this operation, because for me it was an operation, and then I'm going to tell you about the results. So, I was in the hypnotherapist's office, I lay down on the couch and he put me into the trance. Now, I must just explain to you, a hypnotic trance is not like what you might think from films or whatever. You're completely conscious. At no point did I ever actually believe I was having the band fitted. I knew that it was all just going on in my mind. So he basically described it. He said, "This is happening. Where do you want to have it? Where do you want to have the operation?" I thought, LA. I'm going to go first class. I went first class to LA. I had the world famous, the best surgeon in the world. It was brilliant, and it was. All I can explain, it was like when you're watching a really good film and you're completely into it and you've forgotten everything else. And then he said it's as if your consciousness comes out and you're looking down on it. It was great. This was really, really fascinating. But what happened at the end of it was absolutely amazing. When he brought me out of the trance and I came back to, you know, normal state, I could feel the band inside me. Now, I'll just say this again, that I knew there was no band, but I could feel it. It was like a real subtle tightening in my stomach. In fact, you could almost say it was a susurration to my consciousness. I was amazed by this, but I was even more amazed what happened in the next 2 weeks. I lost 5 pounds, I lost all interest in food. It was fantastic, until the day I couldn't feel the band anymore. It had disappeared. But this wasn't a disaster, because what happened was, in that 2 weeks, I had realised that my mind was actually much more powerful than I thought. And so in the last 9 months, what's happened is, first of all, I started doing self-hypnosis, which is, I have to say, saved me an awful lot of money, because, as I said, the hypnotic trance is just putting yourself in a very relaxed state. I do that to myself. I get myself in a relaxed state, and then I have a conversation with my subconscious. So if I'm having a bad day with food, I'll say, well, why? You know, why are you eating crazy again? Come on. And it'll say, well, I just want to protect you. And it's, oh, that's very interesting. And there's lots of things I can do. And from that, I do have times where, it's not every day, but I do have times where I can look at chocolate and cake and just feel sick. And that is amazing. I used to be, my default stress response in the supermarket would be to take 4 eclairs and just eat them. I was a food addict. And now I say, I'm leaving that state. I'm getting out of that. I've started a blog, so I blog about it, and my business is, what I've done is I've taken the idea of using your subconscious and empowering yourself, and I've used that in my business, and that's really helped it, and there's a lot less resistance in my subconscious mind. So to come back to the original question, does life begin at 40? Well, I'd say that the hypnotic gastric band to a lot of people is just a gimmick. But to me, it was a doorway to a whole new empowered existence. And I feel like I've really taken control of my life. And I can honestly say that for me, life truly has begun again at 40. Thank you.